Recording is on officially. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome everyone to the Options Income Launchpad Monday Market Kickoff. My name is Scott and I will be your host. As always, let me remind you that what we do is for education and illustrative purposes only. The information provided in this content is not intended as a recommendation to buy or sell. We're not advisors. We're not brokers. We don't give advice. Decisions made should be at your own risk. Yada, yada, yada. What are we going to do? Let's look at the opening futures. Let's look at the news. Here's the thing. Even as the government actually opens, I have to imagine that whatever news we get is still going to end up delayed. I don't see there being like, oh, we're back to work and now here's our reports. It seems like they've got a lot of work to do to get those reports compiled in various areas, right? David, that's what I'm thinking is, we got to get this thing fired up and moving, and it takes a lot to keep the momentum is a lot easier than to restart. So I don't know what that's going to look like, but I think we're still a good ways away from getting our data that we're looking for. Mindset for open trades. Everything looks good unless you put on something bearish, and then you might be scrambling this morning. But there was never a point that any of us were thinking, oh, I think I'm bearish. I think I'm looking to speculate to the downside. Certainly, we have had concerns about diminished strength in the market, but nothing that had us looking to change direction. We were starting to think maybe if this thing keeps dropping, but the last couple of weeks we've actually had stability and then an increase, or at least close to that. We'll watch the opening range. I know that I've been watching the chats, and it seems like Glenn's been pushing into day trades that people are following, and that's great. I love that. We will review our early week opportunity list, which came back strong still. I have no doubt there will be a trade signal today. I can't see any way it doesn't, unless something catastrophic happens. I'm like, there's no way unless. But yeah, I think that without something catastrophic happening, a lot of different things were firing up and setting up for trades, and today's upward swing is likely to give them the bump they need to turn into actual trade signals. And lastly, this week we are working on section 3 in our trading plan. I'm not going to do it yet. I added all of the new consumer discretionary and all of the new industrial stocks to the group watch list that we're going to go through today. I have not yet updated the official group watch list that you can download, but I will this week. Here's what I'm waiting for. Since we've done 2 of our growth sectors, I figure let's just do the other 2 tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, we're going to search one more time. We're going to do communication services. And we're going to do technology. Actually, you know what? We may as well dedicate the whole thing. We may as well do financials, communication services, and technology so that we have a strong list going into the end of the year. I'm feeling good about the Santa rally. Should have a couple of good windows left this year if we get it. And then we'll go into the next year watching everything strong in all the strongest sectors. It's a good way to go. So let's plan on that. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, let me go back. Let me reload this. We will look at the Fed watch. We will look at the Fed watch. A new Senate bill could end the shutdown now. I was kind of surprised. But you can see here on the right-hand side, Democrats concede shutdown fight without health care. So they're sort of like, hey, we're hoping, and I'm hoping, because I know that there's quite a number of people who are likely relying on those subsidies to grab healthcare from the marketplace. But I guess we'll see. What else? Let's wait. That's really it. The shutdown is what it is. I don't think there's any dividend. And neither does this guy, Besant. He's like, oh, those $2,000 dividends are likely coming through the tax cuts. You'll see it. Like, no. He said a check. I don't think that's happening. What are we seeing right now? S&P up 0.89, almost 1%. We have the Dow up 0.34. The NASDAQ up 1.5. The Russell up 1.25. And we have the VIX down, bouncing down. So all the things that we were looking for, price turning up, volatility turning down, that is very likely to give us a trading signal. Now, here's the thing. What we're going to be looking for is what signal? Like if it opens and then runs, there may be some things that you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can still buy this. I think it already got a big chunk of what I'm looking for. So, yeah, we'll see. We will see. What's on the economic calendar this week that we may or may not get? I mean, this thing, it passed, right? Like sometimes I hear things and then I'm not quite sure that I process it all the way. My understanding is, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, is that we got the deal passed in the Senate and now it moves to the House, and the House just needs party lines to hold, though there is a bit of fracture in the House, my understanding. But once it passes the House, then we're good to go. Is that right? It should be pretty quickly. I guess I'm not 100% sure. Someone chime in if you have a better sense of it. Does the president have to sign these CRs? I guess so. I mean, I would expect then that that's the case. Me and David Wilson don't know. We're not sure. Okay, nothing's scheduled for today anyway, so we missed nothing. Tomorrow, Veterans Day, we have the NFIB Optimism Index. Nobody really cares. It is Veterans Day tomorrow. We will still meet because only the bond market's closed, and we don't care about the bond market. We care about the equity and the option market. John says, is it so it needs 60% in both bodies? I didn't realize that. For some reason, I thought that was just a Senate thing and that the House just needs a simple majority. So clearly, somebody did not pay attention in civics class in high school. Because I do not. I know I know it changes sometimes. But okay, so I think it needs 60. So that might be interesting then. I guess that could be interesting. Wednesday, a bunch of Fed speak, but nothing else. That's it. Just Fed speak all day. Thursday. So I just don't see it happening. That we get opened up and then people show back up in the office and are like, hey, I know we haven't been here in almost 6 weeks, but can someone whip up the CPI and PPI reports? They're supposed to come on Thursday. We're supposed to get jobless claims. We're supposed to get CPI. We don't even have last times because we didn't have it last time. So I don't know. Are they going to it's interesting. I have no idea how they're going to try to go forward and put this information out. Thursday, we have Fed speak. We will get that. Friday, we're supposed to get sales and PPI, Producer Price Index. I would not expect to get that. So apparently we're probably not going to get any data this week. Maybe they start to push it and put it out the following week. I don't know. That's a good question. Fed watch. Where are we standing? Looking for that next quarter of a point. Really just holding firm around 2-1. Now we're down. A month ago it was 92%. Like everybody's thinking, yeah, we're getting another cut. Now we're down to 66, 2-1 odds. And if I were to estimate based on 2-1 odds, I would say it's 50-50. The actual probability right now, in my opinion, is closer to 50-50 because this thing tends to orient. We've seen it time and time again where it's like, oh, everyone's expecting it. And then all of a sudden, right before the end, it sort of drops down and then, so I don't know. I'm 50-50. What the market priced in, 2-1. Okay. Let's go see how this little pop is shaken up. Boom. You can see what we got. It turned up. Yeah. My volume seems to have disappeared from... SPY. Does anyone else have this on their chart? We had above average volume. It was like 80 something million, and now it says there was 468,000 shares traded on the SPY on Friday. That doesn't seem right. That does not seem right at all. Okay. I'm going to create a short list of what I think is tradable today. Tell me if your chart's doing that same thing. That's very strange to me. I'm like, where's my... I have this gray box and nothing in it. We already have 5 million traded today. Friday only traded 400,000. Interesting. Empty as well? Okay. Apple on the list, definitely, for today. Glenn thinks so as well. We were talking about it. That looks good today. We do have a Ford trade open, which, interestingly, last week Ford did better than everybody else, and today it's just sort of pausing there. So it's like, come on, Ford. Get your shit together. I'm going to say no to Amazon. Amazon turned. Amazon is turned by price, but still coming down by stochastic. So I'm going to say I'm going to hold off on that one. Oh, here we go. Stephen found a definitive answer. In the U.S. House of Representatives, a bill passes by simple majority. It's a majority of those present. So, okay. So they need the full 218 that they have. What do they have? 220? I think they may have one or two to spare. So they need at least 218 of those 220. I have a feeling that'll happen pretty easily. And then it does need to go for a final signature. Is that right? I can't imagine that wouldn't get through. Thank you, Stephen, for the definitive answer. ANET. I'm going to say ANET's on the list. What am I looking for? I want price to be above the previous day's high. I want the stochastics to turn and possibly cross, hopefully cross. You can see this one's barely crossing. You can see this one already crossed. Oh, no, that one's barely as well. Never mind. Still good, though. APH, I'm going to say yes. These are all viable if they look like this as we get towards the end of the day. These are all viable as they are. AVGO. I don't love it being a red candle. AVG. Wait, Bob Core says the Senate passed the original bill 60-40. So there's no need to revote in the House. Oh, so the House passed a bill and sent it to the Senate, and then the Senate can mark it up. But I thought if they make changes, it has to go back to the House. Is that not true? There were no changes. I thought that they added some things for like guaranteed funding to certain agencies. I thought there was enough added that it would have to go back, but maybe not. I guess we'll see. Maybe it's just been a long time for all of us from our civics class. Lee says his Friday volume was 100 million. Mine says 400,000. I'm going to say his is right. Mine is wrong. AVGO. I'm going to still put AVGO on the list. I mean, it doesn't have the greatest candle, but all signals are met. AXP. Actually, AXP was back here and still going. So if you happen to have taken this as it kind of busted out of this little sideways action, you would be fine. BAC. BAC could be a good one today. I'm going to put BAC on the list. We have tradables. BBY. This is a new one. This is a new consumer discretionary, but that's a no for today. BE. Bloom Energy. I don't know. That one's kind of chopping around up at the highs. I'm going to say no there. City. That could be. I mean, it's kind of busting itself out of that sideways action. I'm going to say yes. Caterpillar on the list. There may be a 2-trade day today, for all we know. CCJ, put it on the list. Basically, anything that was on the short list, no to CLS. So not everything, but most things. COF on the list. Coinbase, no. Cisco, oh gosh, Cisco, look at you. The problem is we only have 2 days. 1, 2. Could we trade Cisco for a just quick little 2-day momentum pop? Yeah, why not? Delta, no for me. Diamonds look strong. Ford, come on, Ford. Come on. GE is a yes. Gold, okay. I got to tell you guys, and some of you may be in, Glenn liked it, I know, as it kind of took this turn, and then it just sort of fell, and it was just kind of pushing a little here, and then bing, I don't know, gold got a little bump. GM also pausing a little. I like Google. Goldman kind of breaking. So what do we see in the financials? And this is very strong to see. We had a bunch of these type of patterns in financials. Citi was doing this. Bank of America was doing this. Coinbase maybe. I mean, we have not Coinbase, Capital One. A lot of this where the selling cycle was on, it never really happened. And then now it's popping out, and you can see here it's popping out. I think we have to put that on the list. It's a big list of, I mean, you could trade a lot of different things today. And we may only have a couple of days in this window to get things on. GTX. No. This is a new one. We weren't quite sure. This one we're just kind of looking at and saying, what do we think? What do we think? Do we think this has what it needs? We'll keep an eye on it. I'm unconvinced as of right now. Yeah, but I think it looks overall still bullish. Hood, I'm unconvinced. It's coming out of earnings. I mean, it is turning, but it's like we have this big, broad sideways. So I'm still going to keep watching it. Okay. Okay. Let's keep looking. Howmet. I'm going to say yes to Howmet. And you might be thinking that one's pretty high already, but as I look at this, my thought process is, if I could get my drawing tool out, we were in this kind of it's not a flag, it's more of a pennant, which operates very much like a flag. And as such, the break. Now, I will say I don't love the candle that it is all the way back down. It does technically still qualify. Right? It does technically still qualify. So I'll put it on the list. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Delete that. IBM. No, not yet. Intel, Lee said. Yes, 100% Intel. I think Intel looks very strong. I like Intel. I got to tell you, I would take a couple of financials at the same time. So I would take Apple and Intel, or some variation, and still take something outside. So I would take something that is a consumer discretionary or, something along those lines. Okay, let's keep looking. IWM is turning up. It's good to see IWM getting some movement. We were starting to feel a little bit of a concern for our major market analysis, based on what we had been seeing. So it's good to see, that happening. Okay, let's keep looking. Hey, Vladimir, good to see you. Double A, David Wilson said. Let me go back. American Airlines. We didn't like Delta. Oh, that's Alcoa. I was thinking American Airlines. AAL. That's what I meant. Was AAL. Yeah, I would say yes to Alcoa. Dow component. Dow is looking pretty strong. Technically, that probably actually gave the signal on Thursday or Friday. So this would be more of a continuation trade. I would say that's the first signal right there. Is this crossed? But I would say it does have continuation potential for sure. Okay. Where were we? JCI. Gosh, everything is. Now, the question is, how does it hold up? How does it hold up over the course of the day? Does it sell off? Does it continue? Does it just sort of, hold where it is? Those are the kinds of things that we're going to be watching for as we watch today. Okay. Let's keep going. Okay. Lumentum. Nah, it's farther than we can chase it. Right? Farther than we can chase it. Macy's. I'm gonna say not quite yet for me on Macy's either. This is a new one. It's got a good trend, but it's sort of just winding itself down here. MasterCard is a no. Meta is a no. MIR is new. No. That's a no. Morgan Stanley is a maybe, but I think we have better. Microsoft, just a little too far down for me. But if you like the hook that it's giving, I definitely think there will be plenty of people who like what they see on that one. Right? If they're trading the hook and thinking it could maybe try to make a run back up, there definitely could be something there. Okay, let's keep going. Micron. Woo! Micron just won't slow down. Micron is strong. Netflix is a no for me. Northrop Grumman is a no for me. Nvidia is a yes for me. Although I gotta say, with earnings coming up here, I think I like Intel better. I'll put it on the list. But as of right now, I think I like Intel a little bit better. Give me your thoughts. Intel or Nvidia? Intel. Yeah, I think so too. Maybe we'll even go in and set that one up. PDD. So you'll know my mindset as we get closer. PDD, no. PLTR. We left it on the list and it's popping, but it's popping huge. It's up 6%. I'm not a big fan of chasing 6% moves. That's me. Okay. QQQ. Reddit. No. When is this report? Oh, the real. We got to wait and see what happens with earnings. I'm not going to put it on the list today because we have to see what happens with the earnings. We can't just assume. Otherwise, I'd be looking at that thinking, yeah, this looks great. Okay, let's keep looking. Rocket Lab. No. Or Ross Stores. No, but this is one that's close. I would love to see something like Consumer come after the first window. I would say RTX is a yes. RTX is probably the strongest that I've seen yet. Maybe for, I don't know. GE looked pretty good too. If there was like an industrials trade that we were looking at. Okay. All right, what's next? SES is a new one. No, I'm not a big fan. I don't like that it opened, shot down, opened, shot up, opened, and holding. I don't think that looks great right now. Okay, let's keep looking. Silver also higher today. Like gold, the metals kind of breaking out together. SoFi. Ooh, SoFi is looking pretty good right there, right? It's looking pretty good. Okay, let's keep going. SPY. How are we holding up? Pretty good. That's kind of what we're hoping for right there, is that it holds. We don't need it to make some huge run after the fact. It's got the momentum. This is a new one, SYM. I'm a no on this one. The stochastics is still coming down. We opened higher. We're selling off. I think that there's just simply better. TJX was back here if we were going to take it. This makes me wish I would have put this on our list. That was a good trade. Tesla, not yet, but close. If you like it, TSM. Yeah, I would put TSM on the list, but again, I'm leaning towards Intel. RTX. Okay. Just making myself some notes for later today. Uber, trying to make a move, but not much. Here's the VIX. This is exactly what we talked about wanting to see out of the VIX. Two things would be happening here. Number one, it's coming down, which is what we wanted to see. Number two, that coming down means this, even with that as the extreme point, is what we would consider our new high, which clearly is lower than this high. That is confirmed here. I don't need it to get below this at this point. I'm okay with it taking out the previous day. And it has. And so that again is going to give us a quarter point unless it reverses. Now, when we get this, because this was still a pretty big move, we need this to come all the way back down and get lower than here. Otherwise, it's going to be in a danger zone in here, that if it comes in and slides and turns, then it's going to be a higher low, and that would offset. That's a minus 0.25. So that would leave us still in a bit of limbo, unfortunately, if we saw that. So we're really, really, really hoping for follow through in this regard. Follow through is critical when we get this signal. So, yes. Okay. Keep going, Scott. Let's go. Let me erase the drawings. VRT, also new. Maybe. I'm getting a bit of a delay here. I just lost my reconnecting. Son of a gun. Oh, I just lost my connection. Are you guys still hearing me? Am I still connected to Are you guys still hearing? Okay, yes. Let me see. Okay, sorry guys. I don't know what just happened. I just lost my connection here. Give me 1 second. Was there anything we didn't look at over here? No, we already looked at this. Goodness. It's a pretty strong list, though, today so far. I guess I would say, if anything, I'm a little less inclined towards... I'm leaning towards tech and industrial. even though there are a few, we do have communication services. We do have communication services with Google. We do have some financials. But I would say leaning more towards technology, and I'm looking at a couple of different things. We do have chips, and we have, Apple as a tech leader. Is this thing back up yet? Let me see what it's doing here. No. Huh. Oh, there we go. All right, give me 1 second. This thing will come back on. Okay. So weird. Feels like a Sunday for doing that. It didn't do it yesterday. That's why it's giving it to me today. And we're back. Okay. What do we see here? VRT? Maybe. Maybe. Wayfair. Oh, gosh. Wayfair, we saw someone brought it up. And they turned hard and moved hard. So I'm going to say we missed that one. Walmart's down. Yeah, let's go back. Intel, strong move. What are we thinking here? I'm going to be looking for something like this. So I'm going to draw. And it did get accelerated by earnings, but I want you to notice we had this move here. And then we had this move here. This one's a little bit longer. Let's activate this, compare it. So that last move was even bigger. That last move was here, though. Fast. So I'm going to be looking at least for something like this. Let me get a little extra space. Let's go 10 days. Okay. Price target 44.5. That gives us about $5.30 to the upside. I actually feel like we're going to be getting some good Heikin-Ashi candles here. So I will probably not go below the shadows, but below the bodies. Below this body, below this body. That'll put me right up in here around, let's say, $37.50. So that's about $1.70 to make $5.30. That's a 3-to-1. That's exactly what we're looking for. Right? Exactly what we're looking for. Yeah, I think that one looks pretty good there. Let's leave that. I'm going to leave those lines. The other ones that I think look strong, obviously Apple. Apple is one. Let me go back out of here. I mean, Apple's been making some moves. Same thing there. So if we get Apple, is it going to let me put that in? Bring it down. Yeah, I'm thinking Apple's getting up to 296. 296, that's 24 points. 272 to 267. 5 point. Yeah, this is Apple looks great. Apple's almost a sure thing to be put on. You'll notice the implied volatility is way down. So the options are as cheap as they've been in the last 6 months. Apple looks real strong. We've been waiting, thinking about Apple. Yeah, it looks good. I believe we took a trade on Apple in October, didn't we? I thought we did. Okay. Questions. Those are two that I'm leaning towards. What's the last one? I would say the last one with an asterisk is RTX. RTX definitely has a Heikin-Ashi ready to go. I wouldn't put it under today's. I'd put it under yesterday's. So stop around 174.5. So you're about $4 of risk. $4 of risk. And I would say for a target, 156.15, 190. 190 for a target, probably. So that's about 12.5. How much? 12.5 for 3 of risk? 3.5 of risk? Oh, yeah, that looks good as well. Questions. Is there one you're seeing that you think I'm missing as being a top candidate for today? Let me know. I think we have the right ones that we're considering here right now. What Apple expiration am I thinking? I may go out to the December standards just because. I mean, it's only 5 weeks. So I might just go ahead and do that. But you don't need much more than whatever you need. So if we need 10 to 12 days, or if we need 7 to 10 days, I want 2 weeks more than that. So that would put me at least 3 weeks out. And the standards are 5 weeks out. So I think you could go anywhere in that range. Yeah. Let's go look at those options. Let's go take a quick little gander, shall we? Let's go see. I don't know what that's doing. Let's go to Apple. Okay, so I would say at least the 5th, because this is only 18 days. I'd say at least the 5th, if not the 19th, somewhere between these three. At the 5th, the volume is, actually, I like the volume here. It's thousands, hundreds to thousands, which is all I need. And then if you go to the standard, you'll have thousands to tens of thousands. So there's tens of thousands there. Now, if you look, open interest, yes. Now, the volume is low because we're 30 minutes in, right? Volume is a daily number. Open interest is a running number. I use the running number. So if you look at the spreads of, let's just say the 275s or the 280, I'll say the 280s, 10-cent spread, 545 by 555. If I go to the 280s here, 10-cent spread, 350 by 360. I'm fine with that. Yeah, absolutely fine with that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let me see. Let's do the same thing with Intel. You'll see Intel looks pretty good the same way. Intel, INTC. Intel's the same way. And then we can move, let's see here. Oh, actually, Intel's very much the same. Hundreds to thousands. If I were going to do the 40s, 245 by 252, that's 7 cents. 179 by 197. Oh, it's a little wider here. It's a little wider on the December. I'd probably go to the standard Decembers at that point. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, you could, but I would say that these are going to be a little bit tighter. And then let's look at RTX. Okay. RTX, slightly out of the monies would be the 80s, the 180s. Oh, RTX is very light here in the December. So if I go to the 180s, I'm paying almost 35 cents. Okay, versus if we look at the Decembers at the 180, it's still 30 cents. These are a little bit wider than I would like. It's good open interest, 3,800. There's hundreds in the other spots. But the market makers still seem to be pricing in a bit of width into their spreads right now. One thing, just a little point of fact. The when the VIX is high, it doesn't just impact option prices; it also impacts spreads. So the spreads are wider, and remember, the spreads are how the market makers pay themselves. So the spreads are wider when the open interest or when the implied volatility is high than when it settles back down. So that's just something that we need to take into consideration. But those are the three I'm looking at. Based on the open interest, I may shift to GE. GE looked pretty good as well, and GE is likely to have. And as I say that, the Decembers are so thin, but the December 5ths are so thin, but the December 19ths look pretty good. However, slightly out of the money. Let's go 320. Oh man, it's 80 cents. 80 cents here. And it's 50 cents here. So it's not great. I don't know why the options are so bad in the industrials. We'll have to think about that. All right. Well, that's it for me, you guys. It's good to see you all. We'll be back tomorrow morning. We will definitely see, unless there's a big sell-off this afternoon because something catastrophic happens in the government, we'll be on for tomorrow, or we'll likely see at least one, maybe two trades come today, and then we'll see what the rest of the week brings us. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, as always. Happy trading.